fired. Shocking images that we're seeing tonight. Now, despite calling for de-escalation, Governor Tim Walz ramping up his divisive attacks on the administration. Only moments ago on MSDNC, he dismissed the serious fraud allegations in his state. Take a look.
You mentioned this fraud investigation and the reason that they're here. Is there anything you think, when you look back, you could have done differently to prevent them from showing up and doing what they're doing here?
No, they were coming anyway. It was all make-believe that we'd been at it. Every state had this. And look, I do think there has to be accountability in this. No one in state government was implicated. This happens all over. People did this. We got it caught. We put them in jail or whatever. But somebody needs to be accountable. And I said, you know what? You're right. I'm accountable for this. Let me this year get this all fixed, which we will have the strongest programs. We're already doing it.
Do you regret jumping out before such a consequential moment?
No.
And last night he was on fake news CNN and he told them the administration was infected with cruelty. So much for peace and getting along and cooperation. Now, these latest comments come on the heels of him saying that he would beat the Adam Schiff out of Vice President Vance in a debate if he could. He had a shot. He blew it. Take a look.
You got to look back about being on the debate stage with him and thinking, man, you really maybe gave this person a little too much of the benefit of the doubt. And we're a little bit, assuming good faith was maybe a mistake with J.D. Vance.
Look, I'll own it. But, Tim, you've been around this long enough. No, when you're on a ticket, you take your orders. Look, I have agency on that, meaning I could have done this, but I am a good team player. He's smooth. I never claimed to do that, but I'm pretty effective. But I'll take the criticism.
I'm for bipartisanship. Here's the problem. I'm for bipartisanship.
Out of him now, if I could, and I would call that out. I mean, that's just different. In verbally going at it, my argument is much better.
You might remember he was like sweaty, nervous wreck. Now, sadly, Mayor Frey isn't any better than Walz. Remember yesterday, after Frey met with Homan, he said that he made it clear that Minneapolis does not and will not enforce federal immigration laws. Nobody's asking for that. Just let them do their job. Now, this, of course, prompted a response from President Trump, who said Mayor Frey is, quote, playing with fire. But, of course, instead of using the opportunity to de-escalate like they claim they wanted to do, Frey responded on X, again reiterating once again that Minneapolis will not enforce federal immigration laws. Fine. Don't whip people into a frenzy either. Let me be clear, very clear. What Walz and Mayor Frey are doing is beyond dangerous. Clearly, they want chaos over peace and cooperation because what? It suits them politically, appeases their radical base. Everything they said about wanting to de-escalate and find a solution with the Trump administration, nothing but rhetoric and a downright lie. And here's the worst part. By siding with the radical left, using radical, insightful rhetoric, and refusing to cooperate with federal law enforcement that are arresting dangerous illegal criminals, they themselves are endangering law enforcement, their lives, the lives of the very people they were elected to protect. So much for President Trump's efforts at being accommodating. Like everything else he does, it was met with fierce resistance from the radical left. They have embraced what is institutionalized lawlessness, sanctuary state and city. So the question is, well, now what does President Trump